Hey everyone, welcome in. We're going to be doing a any percent tutorial for Echoes of Wisdom. So the week's been out for a game. The game's been out for like a week and a half now, so this is a very much an early any percent tutorial. We know like the route is kind of solidified now. There was loads of changes. It started at like 5 hours, got reduced down to sub-hour. Now world record is 35 minutes. And we'll go through how to do all of the tricks in the any percent route from start to finish. So yeah, right. Let's get going then. So I'm going to switch off from my lovely personal webcam view, and I'm going to move my webcam down so you can see the inputs, because there's going to be a lot of important tricks and you want to be able to see what the inputs are on the Joy-Cons. So let's go. Okay, right. This bright light doesn't need to be on. So, starting off, you want to be playing on Japanese. Japanese is fastest at the moment. As far as we are aware, Japanese is going to be the fastest version. There's some arguments to be made about German, but as far as I could tell when timing the text boxes and everything, Japanese is faster. German skips some text boxes, but it's not it's not faster overall. So to play on Japanese, you want to go to the system menu, and you want to go to the very bottom. You want to select the very bottom option. You'll see that it's this menu where it has your Switch name is on this section here. The option below that, this is the language one. If you're playing on if your Switch is already set up for a language you know, you can easily navigate to this. But if you're in Japanese and ever want to change it back, this is how you get to this menu. So then Japanese is the top one of this script. It's below all of the European languages, and it's this one. That's Japanese. When you select it, your Switch will want to restart, and that's fine. Just let it restart. And then if everything's set up, your Switch should look like this. What we're going to do is we're going to open a file, and we want to have a file that has already got a copy of the game, that has already started the game. If you start the game on a profile that doesn't have a save, or if you've deleted all of your saves and you've started it from fresh, it will immediately load into the game on a fresh file, and we don't want that because we're starting the timer from file select. So you want to make sure that you've got a profile that's already set up with a save, so that it comes to this title screen like this, like we've got a file down here. So you want to have lots of different profiles so that you can have practice points. So for example, all of the different profiles I have different ones. So my main one has a 100% completed file, and these other ones I've set up to have save points. Every profile can have up to 2 saves. So you can have as many profiles as you want. So set up as many different points that you can save at as you want, so that you have lots of different places to practice from, and it just cuts down on all of the backtracking and stuff, having to play through the intro multiple times just to get to practice the one thing that you wanted to practice. Especially some of the frame perfect tricks later, really brutal. You want to have saved just before them so that you can practice them over and over again. So at the moment, for the leaderboard is not up and the rules haven't been established yet, but if you want to be safe, if you want to play safe, to start your run, you want to be exited out on this and then start your recording from this point when you're on this, before you've opened the game. Make sure the game's closed first. You can press Y. You can press X to close the game. So you start your recording and then you open this from a fresh load of the game. You then make a new file by just selecting the file, and then it's the top option, and then you start your splits at exactly the same time you press A. So you go 3, 2, 1, go. And that input is the input that starts the timer. So there's going to be a 40-second cutscene at the beginning with Link. There's not much to do here. You just sit and wait. The first 2.5 to 3 minutes, there's going to be some interesting gameplay with like a boss fight, and then after that, there's going to be about 7 minutes of cutscene where there's nothing more interesting to do than mash through the text. But we'll go through some of the tech here because it's not trivial and it's kind of cool. So at the very beginning, you want to be holding up. Oh, I just realized my controller is the wrong way around because I need to not flip vertically. I need to rotate 180 degrees. There we go. Okay, so now everyone who was super confused about my controller is now the correct way around. Okay, so at the beginning, you just hold up on the left stick, and you get to this point here, and you jump. And you're trying to aim the jump to land exactly in the middle here so Link doesn't walk. Come up to this corner, watch the fence, get to the top of the elevator, and jump there. And that gets you up perfect timing. Jump over this part here, and get this corner as tight as possible, and jump over here. Do all of the jumps like so. With these Darknuts, you just want to jump over them when they do their attack. And then jump here and here. And then head straight for the doorway. So this room has a fight. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump slash, charge a spin, and do the spin in the middle here. You're aiming for Link to be exactly on this cross here. If you do the timings just like that, it will be good. So one of the movement things in doorways is that if you jump right at the, like as the transition's about to occur in a doorway, you travel a little bit further than the slow walking speed in doorways. Walking speed in doorways is a bit slow. So here, there's a line here that you can jump onto this spot, up here, like so. That's the way I like how to do it. I think it's easy. Other people decide to do a slightly different line here, which I'll demonstrate. So it's over here, you come down to here, you jump up to here, jump here, and then jump across to there, and you get to there. Make sure you jump in the doorways. Jump too early in the doorways, and you get pushed back out. Jump over that corner, jump over this Darknut, and just run straight for the stairs. You can spam the analog stick if you want to nauseate your viewers. Mash start. For this fight, we hold A to get Bomb Chew and fire an arrow. Ganon is always going to spawn in the top right. Yeah, so yeah, make sure that you're mashing the start button in that initial cutscene, and then yeah, you hold A. Holding A makes Bomb Chews appear, and you need to make sure that you're already facing upright because you're kind of like locked into a strafing animation. So yeah, the whole time you like. When you're mashing the thing, you just hold upright on the thing and then hold. And then as soon as you release the bomb, you just fire an arrow. So that's the first cycle. Second cycle, we're gonna face up left, and we're gonna throw 3 bombs and then shoot an arrow. That was bad. Let me do that again. Yeah, so there is like some timing to when you need to press A. I try and mash it as fast as possible, but like it doesn't matter too much. Okay, so Bomb Chew and an arrow. And then just hold up left and mash A. And then fire an arrow. Hit that bomb! Wow, okay. Let's try that again. Okay, this boss is not that hard. I just got very unlucky there. I don't know why the bomb just flew off to the side. That's odd. That doesn't normally happen. Maybe it was the specific angle that I was holding. I don't know. That was very unfortunate. Okay. I don't know why I'm messing this fight up so bad. So ideally, you do want to be getting this fight perfect. It is very easy to get absolutely perfectly. I am just making an absolute mess of this. Okay, I don't care. I'm just going to do it that slowly. Okay, so aim up left and throw bombs. 2, 3, throw an arrow. Cool. This cutscene happens. This is the end of Cycle 2. Cycle 3 is going to spawn in the same spot, but we're going to throw 2 bombs. Hit that. Throw 2 more bombs at the top right and hit those. And then that's Cycle 3 over. And then this cutscene's not skippable. We just have to sit and wait. But yeah, that's the fight. Yeah, ideally you get it in 3 fast cycles, and that's kind of the end of like the tricky gameplay. I don't recommend resetting over and over again to get the absolute perfect boss, but like you do want to not be losing that much time here. But hopefully that should be an easy strat for you to follow to be able to do the fight quickly. Bombs are extremely powerful, just don't even bother using sword. So here, spin both analog sticks around. This is very easy mashing to do here to be able to break out of Zelda thing perfectly. So we're going to hold like down right a little bit, and we're going to rush this corner here and then go straight down. We're going to get this cutscene, and then yeah, we're going to hold down, and then we're going to walk to the cape, and then we're going to press A on it. When we get in range, you can mash here, and then you get it. Here, mash A and B. Okay, so we're going to get into text mashing a little bit later in the next couple cutscenes. I'm not going to go into it like right this very second, because we need to follow Zelda out of the dungeon. So here you want to head almost straight down, but at a slight leftward angle like this. You're just trying to minimize the amount of direction changes you do. You're aiming to slip between these 2 rocks like so, and head in a diagonal manner right to this corner. Cut this corner as tightly as possible. Moving slightly down, we want to get below this rock and above this rock. Jump up here. Go a little bit lower to get below this rock. And yeah, jump up here. You should be 1 tile above the off the bottom. Cut this corner. We snip we have a little shortcut left below that rock that drops. Jump up over here. Jump down here. I don't know if jumping or falling is faster. It doesn't matter too much. And that's the last bit of gameplay in the intro. From this point on, there's going to be a lot of cutscenes. It's you can honestly skip forwards a little bit. I may even do a cut here. Alright, just for a little bit whilst the intro is playing, I just want to talk about text mashing. So, how text boxes work in this game is if you press the B button whilst the text is drawing on screen, the text is instant. Okay, maybe don't talk during the crescendo. But yeah, if you press B, the text speed is like the text finishes drawing on the text box instantly. Once the text has finished drawing on the text box, either B or A advances to the next text box, and no other buttons do anything. So what ends up being the optimal mashing, like the optimal strategy to go through the like text boxes as fast as possible, is to mash alternating B and A. And like I do a double button press where I've got a solid grip on the controller with my left hand, and I'm moving that up and down, and I've got my left thumb on the B button, my right thumb on the A button, and I've got a loose grip on the controller with the other button, and I'm like rocking back and forth like this and speeding up. And you just mash through all the text here. And then the guard walks over, there's 1 more text box. Zelda faces up. You just hold up and then Zelda starts walking up. Jump up here and jump over here. And then you're aiming, you like just jump on the fountain to save a little bit of time. But then you head straight into the castle. Hold up. There's going to be another doorway here that we kind of want to do a jump. Didn't time to jump right. Hit a trigger here and then input text appears. So we just keep mashing here until input starts moving to the left. And then we hold up. Jump in here. Missed the timing on that jump. So they'll all get shocked, and then like Zelda like walks onto screen, and then text boxes appear. Yeah. And yeah, everyone walks forwards and then starts talking, and then you just need to like learn all of these text boxes so you're not exhausting yourself, and you're mashing like optimally to close all of these text boxes, but not mashing continuously to lose time. So like, yeah, there I lost a little bit of time because I'm not mashing perfectly here. If you want to be like more efficient with your mashing and to not like get yourself worn out, then like go for like different strategies or whatever. But... So there's a long sequence of text boxes here. Guard comes up, you don't need to mash instantly, but then like you need to like close a couple more text boxes here. Everyone gets shocked, like guard and yeah. When this fade black happens, stop mashing. You don't need to mash for any of this section. And then here we start mashing again. So the guard's going to run away, and then we can start mashing again. The king's going to talk to each person individually. They respond, the king does that, and then this cutscene starts playing and you can stop mashing. As soon as the purple haze appears, you can stop mashing for a little bit. So we'll have to start mashing again in a second. So when the eyes go black, yeah, start mashing. As soon as the guards start escorting Zelda away, then you can stop. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so then stop mashing at this point. So the camera's going to pan to the top right to see two guards, and we're going to have to mash through their text boxes here. And then you can stop mashing after, like, they face in the same direction. Okay, here you don't need to do anything. You can do anything you want. I recommend not jumping because I'm pretty sure that the cutscene, like the animation of the jump has to end before the cutscene will play. So yeah, you can just do anything you want there. It doesn't matter. You're just on a timer. Yeah, so we got this cutscene. We don't need to mash at all through this part until Troy appears. Yeah, so Troy will appear, and then there'll be a text box almost instantly here. So Zelda talks to Troy. These text boxes are kind of hard to get a hang of. They're a bit sporadic, but whenever Zelda's doing any animations, you can kind of stop mashing for a split second. And then here, stop mashing. Troy goes out, and then they'll come back and then talk to Zelda again. And then here. And then you keep mashing until this point, where Troy's going to start, like, making the wand. So that's it for text box mashing. Now we're going to mash A here to get the rod instantly, like so. Cool. And now we've got regular text boxes, which we just want to mash with A, like B and A to close. So here we're going to hold down left, and we're going to press ZR to learn the thing as quickly as possible. You don't want to do it too early. You don't want to do it like as soon as you gain control of Zelda. Otherwise, you just like kind of try and capture the air and don't get anything. But yeah, you'll get a text box at the end of that. Oh, hello. What happened to my feed? Hello, game feed. No, dude. Okay. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. My capture card just died. I had to reset it. Okay. Yeah, anyway, there were a couple of text boxes that appeared there. You just close them up. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, after you learn the thing for the first time, you get a couple of text boxes, so you just, like, mash them like that. So you're going to jump up here, jump here, and then place one here. There's going to be a few more text boxes, mash B and A. So when these tutorial windows open up, you can only advance them by pressing A, so you need to stop mashing B and just mash A to close these ones. I'm going to jump on this and then on the table and then up to here. And you're going to jump on across this corner to land on the ground. Try and not land on the bench. And there's going to be another text box here. Close these. And then we're out of the intro and we're on to the first kind of hard section of the run, which is guards. So guards have a few, like, strategies to do. I'll do the easiest one first, and then I'll do, like, a medium difficulty one, which is faster and I still find consistent. And then I'll try and do the fastest possible one, which is really inconsistent, but I don't think I'll get it. So after that cutscene plays, you come down here. Gonna build 3 tables. 1, 2, 3. Make sure it's 1 away from the thing so the guard can't chase you up here. And we're gonna jump over here. We're gonna place a table here. That guard caught us because we waited on the box for too long, because I was just demonstrating, but like if you can avoid the guard. If you ever get caught, you have to come all the way back here and play through this again. So try not to get caught by guards. This is why I'm showing the most consistent one first, because you easily lose like 50 seconds if you get caught by the guards ever. So the fastest strat is to not get caught. And then the next fastest strats are consistently like slightly improving that. So yeah, here. 1, 2, 3. Over here. Place 1. Jump onto this one. Jump across this corner. Jump over here. Jump here. And jump here. Hopefully that guard doesn't catch you. Okay. If that guard spots us, that's really bad. Like, he's going to keep chasing us here. We're going to climb up this ladder. Now, hopefully this guard will get lost and go back to his position. If you do get that guard to follow you, the strat here is to, you run over to this spot, grab this pot, throw it over there, jump down here, and then you run this way. And then you need to watch this guy's cycle, and hopefully you can just avoid him like this. I'm going to go back and I'm going to get caught again, just because I want to show the other routes. So that's like, that's the safe strat if you get caught at the beginning. Oh, no. I didn't want to get caught back here. I wanted to get caught over here. Is it going to put me back at the beginning? Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let's run through this again. So it's 1 here, 1, 2. 1 here. Jump here, jump there, jump there, jump here. Mash through these text boxes. Hopefully no one follows you. So from here, we're going to do 1, 2, 3. Jump up here. Guard's in the way, but that's fine. We just put a table there, jump this way. That guard doesn't spot us if we do it fast. And then we go through here. I was slow because I stopped, so that guard spotted me. If you don't delay, you get through before the guard spots you. That's the fastest. That's like the safe way. So if you do it like that, if you don't stop like I did, you're good. But I'm getting grabbed, like, intentionally. Can I get grabbed, like, here? Can it take me back to the beginning? Yeah, cool. Okay, so this is going to be the slightly faster strat. This is the strat that I do in runs. So we're going to place 1 table there and jump up. We're going to place 1 table here. Hopefully not getting caught. I'm just going to go max speed because everyone is on a cycle, so you just need to go immediately. So we put a table there and there. Jump here, jump here, jump here. Mash through the guard text here. Here, I'm going to go up to here. Switch direction, put a table on that corner. Here, I'm going to walk to this spot here, face right, put a table on that corner. Like so. And then we're easily through. Like, that's how I'm finding the consistent strat. Now, I'll try and do this, the fastest possible guard strat, but it's very hard. Involves placing a table down whilst you're moving and landing on the table like this. Like, what you need to be doing is you want to be walking and holding Y, and then you need to be looking at the tiles on the ground, and you want to be releasing the Y button and then pressing B, like you're basically moving your thumb across at a precise timing. So it's there. Okay, that tile isn't, like, aligned. but you're basically doing it on the transition between one tile and another. You see there's like a grid alignment on the tiles, so like that's just a really bad tile to use, honestly. Yeah, but you want to use it as you're passing over from one to the other. Like, not, that was kind of bad. There, like so. But you see, that's the fast, like, table climb. Kind of bad timing there. But yeah, the aim is to jump and then release Y. If you do release Y too early, then like Zelda freezes in place, places down the table, and doesn't jump immediately. Like that. There you go. So I jumped just before I released Y. So this upcoming strat requires you to do this consistently twice in a row. So let's do it. Let's get grabbed by a guard so that the cycles are good. And then we'll give it a try. So here, we're going to come all the way over here, and then we're going to... Perfect. That was the first one. And then we come all the way over here, and then we're going to do the second one. Cut these corners as close as possible, don't want to lose any time. Perfect. That's it. That's the fast guard strat. So, very, very tricky. You need to land those table jumps perfectly. Remember, jump through the doorway. Yeah, don't go for that in runs unless you've practiced it and you can do it as consistently as that. Like, I don't even feel comfortable doing that. I'm doing the medium strat in the middle. I find that's fast enough. Okay, so here we're going to run up to this corner and we're going to hit the cutscene trigger as far over to the right as possible. And then we're going to get input text here. So this is kind of the last big section of text mashing in the run. So we need to text mash through all of this. Zelda talks back to Impa, and then Tri talks to us. Impa's a little bit confused, shakes her head a little bit, and is like, cool. And then has more text. Zelda and Tri look at each other, and you don't need to mash through this. It's just a cutscene of Tri running around. They go to there, and then they say something. Oh, they come back to Zelda, and then they talk to them. Okay. I just find mashing through all of these. It's so hard to learn all of these cutscenes. There's so many of them. But yeah, you just mash through all of these. When the guards come on screen, there's... Oh, wait, no, sorry. Not yet. Zelda's going to run over to behind the sign. You can stop mashing at this point. And then Zelda's going to come out from behind the thing and the statue dressed. And then there's... she looks at herself, and then there'll be a text box to close. And then more input text. Guards came over. We can stop mashing here for a second. The camera pans. Camera pans back, and when it pans back, we start mashing again. Don't mash through this bit. Impa's going to walk into place. Then the guards are going to talk to her first. Now, we mash that. Impa responds, and then we stop mashing. Impa has this cutscene of, like, beating the guards, then she's going to walk back over to Zelda. When she gets into place, then we start mashing again. We get a map. We keep mashing on the map screen because there's going to be a text box that opens up there. And then we mash through that. And then there's another text box here from Impa as she like goes over. And then when Zelda runs away, that's the last text box. That's like the last huge text box. Okay, so here we're going to spin down twice and press the ZR to copy the shrub. The shrub's going to be important for the build that we're going to be doing in Southern. We're going to be skipping the first dungeon, and we're going to need this to be able to do that. So, and this is the only place that you can get it. If you don't get it here, you can't do the skip to skip the first dungeon. So very important that you do this here. Okay, so these text boxes where you get a new echo close fastest if you press plus to open and close the menu. After we learn that first shrub, there's going to be a text box that you need to close. From here, we're going to spin over here. I'm going to talk a little bit about spin movement first because... like, it's, we're going to be doing it for the rest of the run, but basically, you press R to, like, you move, and then you press R to spin. If you tap and then press and hold, did you see there? You can buffer the next roll, or the next spin, so you can chain frame-perfect spins by just buffering, making sure that you release and repress. The timing is something to get used to, but you don't need to frame perfectly or like continuously mash. You can just get used to the timing of like rhythmically releasing and repressing to spin. And you just need to then, all you're doing is just rhythmically pressing your index finger on the R button. Give that a practice. And then all you need to do is practice, like pay attention to your thumb position on the analog stick to move. Okay, so from here, we're going to spin over to here. I'm going to jump up this ladder twice. So you jump up to the halfway point and then jump again. And you don't get the slow animation of climbing up the ladder like that. Like so. Okay, so this jump, you need to time your jump at the very edge of the tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I do a little bit of a delay there before I do my last spin and then do the jump. You want to time your jump right on the edge. If you can't do that consistently, it's so slow to jump back up. So the safe strat here is just put a table down and then you can jump up. I completely messed up. Yeah, so we put a table there and then we do a spin jump like that. So with jumping whilst in the air, if you jump and then spin, look, Zelda doesn't move any faster than walking speed. But with the spin, we get a little bit of a speed boost. So you want to time your spin and then jump, like, almost afterwards. But if you do it almost at the same time, like, you see this? Like, it's like, ba-dum. You get like a little bit of speed boost. If it's almost frame perfect like this, you see, you get no speed boost. But if you do like R then A, R then A, you get a little bit of a speed boost. We need these spin jumps to be able to clear these gaps. That's like the important part. So from here again, you can do another spin jump to get across that gap. If you can't quite do that, then again, safety table makes it a little bit easier. I think you can just, yeah, you don't even need to spin. You can just time your jump, but it's very tight, so it's always worth trying to do a spin, because if you like spin jump at the same time, it's the same as walking speed, so you might as well try and do the spin and get a little bit faster movement. So here we're going to copy the bed. Here we're going to mash start to close the text box. Okay, so important, when we first collect, when we select the echo, the text has to draw on screen. That goes faster if we press the B button. So we're going to start mashing B straight away, and then press start once the text is drawn on screen for it to appear. Now we want to use the bed immediately. So when we're mashing start to open the menu, we want to press A and then start to close the menu again. Then we have the bed. You want to jump onto the bed, place a bed, and then here you can just jump like that. That's the fastest way to do that. Just spin down here, do a couple of spins, and then you want to place a bed either here or one position to the left is fine. Jump onto the bed, spin jump down the hole. Here we hold down, and we're just going to time our like spins. And you don't need to press A. You don't need to press A or B to go up and down in these 2D sections. It's literally just the analog stick that decides. So yeah, fast movement was the spins. Jump here, spin jump over to here, spin jump here, place a table, spin, 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 spin. We're going to copy this boulder. Boulder isn't 100% required, but I'm going to heavily suggest that you get one because it makes everything else so much easier, especially in the final boss fight. It's going to be so much easier if you get this boulder. Trust me. And then we mash pause to close, open and close the thing as quickly as possible. Place a table, place a bed, place another bed here, and jump over to here. Spin jump to this spot here. We're going to be doing from this first tile here. We're going to place a table, jump up to the bed. I keep saying table. Bed. We're going to place a second bed. We're going to come over to here, jump, place the bed. It's going to break that. We're going to jump down. I'm going to hold down and press ZR to break the, to destroy the table whilst we're in mid-flight, mid-fall. Once we hit the water, then we just like a spin movement, swim all the way around here. So here we're going to hold up left and we're going to spin over to this staircase here. So here are some cutscene triggers. Zelda walks slower during cutscenes than if we were in the middle of a spin jump. So it's going to be very vital for us to try and get as much movement into the cutscene trigger as possible with the spin movement. So from here, we're going to spin jump like so, and we get quite a bit of distance. And if you see, we tried to get as far as possible before Zelda starts walking. So we're going to have more text here. So we're going to mash this text here. Try faces us, and then shakes their head and has 2 more text boxes. And then we go over to here. So there's another trigger here. So it's on this vertical line here. That's going to make the escape sequence begin. So we want to spin jump here as far as possible. Hitting the trigger instantly, hitting the trigger as quickly as possible isn't that bad in comparison to like doing a spin jump. You never want to like try and like back up and like time the spin jump perfectly to get more distance. You're going to be losing more time overall. I'm just doing it for demonstration, but like as quickly as possible if you can, just try and time like a spin jump at the last moment before you hit the trigger. Hitting the trigger is honestly not that bad. So when we start the water sequence here, what we're going to do is we're going to be holding A, and then we're going to be mashing R to like get the like to do spin movement. So hold A to dive down underwater, go into the middle of the waterfall, and you see because we went underwater, we fell a shorter distance from the waterfall to the water on the level below. This saves a little bit of time. It saves about a second. It's honestly really worth doing. Just like holding A, you just hold A and you just swim you just swim down to the bottom. So now we're going to start the beach. The beach is like kind of cool. Like there's some movement we can do here. There's one text box there, and then we hold it to the right, and then we start doing spin movement. And then now we've exited like this small cave here, and we're going to be on the beach. We're going to text mash here when Try like has a little look around, telling us to look at the map. But we're not going to. We're going to spin around to this spot here. This trigger doesn't exactly matter too much. We can't avoid it. And Zelda doesn't move in it, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, we text mash until Zelda starts to like hold onto her rod, and then we can let go and then start holding down right, because that's the end of the cutscene. Spin through these leaves. We're going to spin to this spot here. I'm going to put a bed down. We're going to spin jump up here, and then spin jump over these urchins. That's the safe strat. I like doing that to avoid having to like jump over the urchins. Other people do try and just like jump immediately to the let's just kill these guys, get them out of the way. So some people do place a bed like here and then try and get over the urchins right away, but I end up getting hit most of the time. So I do recommend doing the route that I just showed. After that, you come over to here, you place a bed here, not at that spot, it needs to be here, and then here, and then here, and then we jump up here. I was too slow, and the Zol hit. Alright, I'm just going to bait him over here. This honestly shouldn't happen. If you go full speed here, if you go to here, 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 this Zol is never going to get in the way. But that's the fast movement to get up here. It does require 3 beds, so you can't do it unless... up to here, we're going to grab this boulder, we're going to throw it, and then spin up. So what's really commonly going to happen is there's going to be a rupee up here. You do want to not hit the boulder, but sometimes this rock is going to land, like what happened with me, in front of this doorway. But yeah, whilst this rock is mid-air and you spin up, you want to press the R to try and capture the urchin the moment it dies. And then, because this is the first enemy we've captured, we're going to get this tutorial. So yeah, just mash B to like close the text quickly, and then mash A to close the tutorial window. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that can happen here based on the RNG. Sometimes you might capture the rock by accident. Sometimes you might get a rupee drop. So there's quite a lot of variance here. You just got to be prepared for the different outcomes of things that can happen. And we just spin into the staircase. So ladders, we can climb down ladders quickly by mashing A. If you press A on a ladder, you just drop instantly. So the fast movement here is when we go inside, we're going to hold right and mash A, and then when we hit the ground, we start spinning. And we climb on the ladder, hold, so like mash A, I'm going to spin through here, jump up the ladders. Instead of getting the slow, as I said before, like instead of getting the slow animation there, we're going to try and jump up the ladder straight away like that. Spin a couple of times over here, spin up, like holds diagonally up right, and then just jump, and just mash B to get up there super fast. Spin over here, jump in the middle of these guys, spin, jump through, and then jump up the ladder like so. And then that's that cave done. Spin over in this direction a little bit. So this jump, again, is also another jump that you can do with a spin jump. Or, if you can't quite make it, I honestly do this. I just put down a bed. I hate falling down there. It's annoying. But yeah, just put down a bed and it jumps free. Keep spinning over to here. And we're going to get this trampoline. Trampoline is going to make things fast. So we're going to mash A. We want this trampoline equipped. So we're going to mash... I did that completely wrong. So mash B to get the text speed faster. Mash A plus to open the menu. Press A. Press plus. That's the move. That's the inputs that need to be done there, because we want the trampoline equipped. We then want to capture this sign, and so we mash B to close the fast text, and then plus to open and close that quickly. Okay, so there's another trigger here. Again, Zelda's not going to walk during this, so it doesn't matter if we do a spin jump into it or not. But we mash A and B to close those two boxes. We're going to do another spin to the right so that we're in front of the thing, face up and talk to it, and read it. We're going to mash through these text boxes here. There's going to be a couple more text boxes. A tutorial window's going to open up, and then there's going to be 2 more text boxes. Now we're going to skip all of the forest and go directly to the trigger. So we're going to place a trampoline here, push it, jump, and place another trampoline, and you can see, the trampolines are 1 tile big, but they're because we pushed it a half distance and placed another one, the one above is placed half over the one below. We're going to be doing this a lot, these kinds of builds, to be able to get a lot of height with only having to do 2 builds. So we can get all the way up here with just that. I'll demonstrate that again at full speed. So place, push, jump, place, jump. And yeah, you don't even need to press jump, you just hold it up there and the trampoline jumps up. You don't gain any extra height if you press B the moment you hit the trampoline. If you touch the trampoline, you're going to be jumping the same distance no matter what. So you want to be right in this corner, tap right, place it down the trampoline, jump up here. So from the top of this tree, you want to spin up here. It shouldn't even matter, it might be a little bit tricky to jump up there sometimes, but I just want to make sure that these trees have 3D models, and if you're off to the side of them, you're a little bit lower than if you are directly on the top, so just be aware of that. So spin jump up here, spin jump up there. I'm always aiming for the tops of these trees to do spin jumps. You don't want to spin jump in regular movement. It doesn't speed you up at all. You just want to be in contact with the ground as much as possible when you're doing your spin jumps. Don't jump down when you're spinning. Don't jump down the trees. Just do that movement over to this area here, and then we're going to start mashing through this text box. So mash through these text boxes. Yeah, don't mash when try moves over to the corner like this. There's going to be 1 more text box there, and then we start spinning over this way. So just follow this path like this. Yeah, just rhythmically timing your spins. You can do them frame perfectly, very easily by buffering it. And then you should always get to the same spot here because your spins should be consistent. And we get that, and then we go up here, and we hit the trigger as early as possible. This trigger is horizontal, so we want to do it as far to the left as possible because we're coming from the left. So there's going to be this text box, after that cutscene, mash through these, then try moves a little bit up, has more text, faces Zelda, text again, and then it's going to be a long cutscene here. Yeah, no need to do any text mashing through this section. Okay, that sneaky text box caught us off guard. But yeah, there's that animation. We're gonna get Zelda face talks to try. When Zelda faces up, then we can start moving, and then we do 1 spin up, press A, and we enter. This is pretty fast. There's going to be no text box at the end here, so we're just straight into this area. There is a trigger right here. Again, it's not a trigger that we Zelda moves at all, so it doesn't matter if you spin jump into it or not. Just hit the trigger as quickly as possible. And then we're going to text mash through. Try walks forwards. Talks to Zelda. Zelda moves like that, and then the HUD appears on screen, and then we can start moving again. You can always tell when you can start moving again, because Zelda stops looking at try, and then the HUD appears on screen. So our movement here is going to be like this. We're going to spin jump here, and here, and here. And spin, spin, spin jump, spin jump, spin jump. Okay, so there's a few different strats you can do at this part. But there's a cave here that we're just going to completely skip. So we're going to tech smash through this. Yeah, when the camera's zoomed in, there's going to be a couple text boxes, but then Try looks back at Zelda, and then there's one more text box. So from here, you can do bed strats. They're kind of safe and consistent, so from down here you place down a bed and put 2 beds down. I think it's 2. Is it 2? No, it's not 2, it's 3. And then you want to jump on the NPC. The NPC has a little bit of a weird hitbox. If you press R3, you can like heads over view, so you can do like more consistently like line yourself up here. But yeah, we just want to be like stood on their nose. And then from here you want to be as low as possible on the NPC without falling off. Tap up, place down a bed. You should have got pushed down a little bit, but like here, that's fine. Jump onto the beds, place 3 more beds, and then spin jump up to here. And then you're through. So that requires doing 6 builds, and I think that's slow. So this is a strat that I do. This is trampoline. This is a little bit harder. So place down the trampoline, do 1 push, place down another trampoline. You want to be on the bottom half of the trampoline. If you're on the like the upper half of the trampoline here, you get stuck underneath the NPC. So just be aware, like you want to be on this lower section of the trampoline. Even if you're in the middle, you're kind of like caught under them. You have to be on the lower half, actually on the lower half. Okay. So from here, we're going to bounce up to her. We're going to, again, place a trampoline in the same position that we placed the bed. You can't place the trampoline in any other slot. It has to be on this spot here. So from here, we're going to time a spin the moment that we hit the trampoline, like so. That's all it was, just twirl and then, like, hold upright the moment that you hit the trampoline, and you make it up here. It's a little bit tight, but it saves some time. Mess around with those 2 strategies. So over here, we're going to spin over here, spin jump over here, and then here's another text box, like here's another trigger. Zelda moves, so we want to try and get as far as possible, but because we crossed a gap, it's kind of hard, so don't get too worried about that. So there's only 2 text boxes there. I always jump here because I expect more text boxes, but yeah, it's just those 2 text boxes. Spin over here, spin, 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 spin. I don't think you need to spin jump here, actually. It's just spin through. And then this is the entrance of the dungeon. Okay, so in any percent, we are going to be skipping this entire dungeon. We are just grabbing the very first thing. We need bind, and then we're leaving. You can do a slower route by about 10 minutes slower, beating the whole dungeon, and then continuing the run from after beating the dungeon. But we're going to be doing Suthorn Skip. We're going to be skipping the entirety of this dungeon, because it's it saves 10 minutes, so it's worth doing. We're going to spin over here, spin here. We're going to press A on this this boulder. This is the last thing we need from this dungeon. We're going to text smash through here. We're going to get this cutscene where Zelda looks left, and then we're mashing minus to open up the map. We're going to press D-pad left twice to get out of the dungeon map and to get to the overworld map. We're going to select this warp, and we're going to press A twice. That's going to warp us over to the village, and we're going to start doing Suthorn Skip. We're going to do the Onyx build. This is the infamous, notorious strat for this. It's random what outcome you get, but if you want to put down a save here and you want to practice this, this is one of the big hard tricks of the run. So when we warp here, we're going to spin over to this spot here. We're going to place a trampoline right here, jump up here. This tree is for some reason just lower than these other trees. Look, you can't jump up here. And we thought that we needed 2 trampolines, but you literally just need 1 trampoline and you can get up here. Very easy. So spin over to this spot here. There's 2 Zols here, so you want to hold either D-pad right on the controller or L, and that either one of those opens the echo menu so that you can select different echoes. I use the right stick to adjust like what the selection is, but you can use like both the left and right, so you can do like quick like movements. So here you can do like double left. That was kind of okay. So 1, 2. Damn, that's 1, 2. Yeah, like you can just do that. Move both at the same time, and you move. You move over to the urchin. So yeah, we're gonna use urchin to kill these guys. Urchin, urchin, Perfect. I'm going to spin around to this spot here. If you didn't get a rupee already, you're probably going to get a rupee from these Zolls that you kill. So I'm going to grab this. We're going to then open the echo menu, and once to the right to get the trampoline. I'm going to place a trampoline here, and again, we're going to push it up once, and I'm going to place down a second trampoline. I'm going to jump up to here, place down a trampoline on this spot here. It doesn't matter if it's there or if it's one lower, it doesn't matter. I'm going to jump up to here, and then we want to get overhead view over here. We're going to stand roughly in this spot here, and we're going to press ZR to drop it. You can also press Y to also drop it at the same time. The boulder wants to drop here. It wants to be halfway between these two trees, and it wants to be vertically centrally aligned with the trees. It wants to not be like up here or down here. It wants to be like perfectly in between these two trees, like so. So from here, we're going to spin jump over to here. You don't need to spin jump down the trees, but spin down here, spin. From here, we're going to grab this chest. We're going to move it over to here. We're going to jump and jump again. The jump here was to, like, we're going to, like, when we get this chest, we're, like, aligning it against this wall, and we're jumping here to, like, get the chest to move up a little bit in relation to Zelda. It's not in line with the floor anymore. It's up a little bit. I'm going to jump here. And up here, and then jump here. So yeah, the whole like aim of that like movement was to try and get the chest to be hovering a little bit above Zelda, to the north of Zelda. So from here we're going to jump like around the corner of this tree to get the chest to slide onto the top of the boulder, and then we're going to place the chest here. With the overhead view, the chest wants to be in this position here, so it's half aligned to the right of the boulder. Finally, we're going to put one last object down. We're going to put down a trampoline here. I'm going to stand in this grass bush, like tile, and fire the, like, try to bind onto this chest. Jump over to here, jump down here. It's very important that you jump down so that the chest doesn't slide on the edge of the tree, but actually like maintains its height and its position. So ideally, the chest is this displacement away from Zelda, and it means that when we jump up here, when we align ourselves with the edge of the boulder, the chest is perfectly aligned another half tile along from the previous chest and up. We're making a staircase like this. If anything ever doesn't get put in the right position like this, what you need to do is you want to press ZL to lock on target. The targeting system on this game is trash. It never targets what you want to, but you just gotta have to get like the hang of it and get used to having to retarget multiple times. Stand a little bit further away if it's not quite in position. Press X to like bind the thing, move it into the right position, and yeah, overhead view if you want to make sure it's perfectly aligned, and then just drop it, either X or ZR. Now, with everything in this position, this is set up for us to do the final step of the build. We're going to jump up here. This can be a bit tricky to jump up sometimes. Sometimes you won't be able to jump up here perfectly, but just make sure you're like perfectly on the top of this tree, and you should be able to jump onto the boulder fine. And these chests are very easy to jump up. So from here, we want to place down 3 trampolines. We're placing one on this bottom right corner. We're going to move down. We're going to face upright. I'm going to place 2 more trampolines like that. You can try placing the top trampolines whilst you're on this trampoline, but you have to time it right. If you place a trampoline too high, it breaks when it falls, so just avoid doing that. We're going to jump over to this position here, and we're going to face down. It doesn't matter exactly where you are on the trampoline, just try and be as like centered on the trampoline as possible. Don't fall down. If you ever fall down, you have to restart the build again from the beginning, so yeah, just place one trampoline here, jump up here again, and then restart everything from scratch. So trampoline there. As I said, look there. Okay, that's fine. You can build it like that if you want. So from here, we're going to open the echo menu again, and we're going to select the tree. We're going to be placing 2 trees now. We're going to place one here, jump onto the tree, face left, place down another tree. Select the bed, place the bed here, jump onto the bed, face upright, select the tree. We're going to press Y and then X almost immediately to grab this tree whilst it's falling, and we're going to move it a little bit to the left and then drop it. If you don't grab the tree whilst it's mid-air, you can ZL to lock onto it to grab it and then adjust it. We're just adjusting it like a quarter tile to the left or a half tile. It really doesn't matter like how precise it is. We're just doing a little shift left. We're going to stand on the tree. We're going to push down so that we're just above the bed. We're going to grab the bed. We're going to move the bed up a little bit like so. That's all it needs to be. It's just like the smallest movement up. We'll place the bed around the bed and jump onto the bed. I'm going to stand on the left-hand side of the bed again. Face right. Hold the echo menu. Select the trampoline. We're going to place down the trampoline. That's not the right spot for the trampoline. Trampoline wants to be there. We didn't move the bed that much, so like the trampoline's half lined up from the bed. But you want to, so sometimes you can move the bed a little bit further up and then the trampoline will be directly under the bed. But yeah, make sure that the trampoline is like horizontally in line with the tree. Now, this is one of the hardest inputs of the trick. We're going to select the tree. We're going to hold Y. What we're going to do now, make sure that you're facing to the right. You can, if you're trying to place down, if you're holding Y to place down a object, and if you don't want to place it down, if you think your angle's wrong, just press ZR and it cancels it. And you can place Y and it won't place it. It's very important that we're always placing these things in the right order. If you ever if you ever place something incorrectly, it can just break the setup. So you would then have to, you didn't fall down and have to restart everything from scratch. So the timing of this is, you hold Y, and you're timing to release Y and then hold right the moment that Zelda hits the trampoline, like so. Practice that. It gets super consistent once you get used to the timing, but it can be a little bit tricky at first. It shouldn't be too hard of a trick to be able to nail. If you don't get it, there is technically a backup by binding onto the trampoline. I have zero luck with that whatsoever, and I'm not going to recommend it. You can end up doing like a trampoline double bounce. I think it's way harder than this is, so I would recommend if you don't get this jump, just build the thing again from scratch. So up here, when we land on this tree, it's very important that you release right before you walk fully onto the tree. Halfway along this tree is a void out zone. We have gone high enough now that we've hit the seam line between two different stitched rooms of the overworld. Left, like at the moment, we're in a room on the left, and this is the transition boundary between a room on the right. The room on the right has a lower ceiling than the room on the left, which means we're going to hit the ceiling and it's going to void us out immediately. We don't want to void out yet. We're going to be doing a trick that requires us to get a void out. It's very important that we don't hit this void out until we get the trick set up, because if we void out at all, it eliminates all of our echoes and it replaces everything in the area to its original locations. So you have to do the build again with the boulder and the chests. You have to do all of that again from scratch. It loses a lot of time. It loses over a minute. So be careful when you're up here. So from here, we're going to lock onto the trampoline. You can do overhead view to make this safer to see. I get used to doing it without that. But you want to position yourself here. Like, Zelda is not on this tree, but like vertically, it's like, yeah, it's still fine. Lock on to this, lock on, bind onto the trampoline. We want to destroy the trampoline, so we're gonna move it down off the edge here. So try and like inch your way over a little bit. It's safe to do it in 2 goes, so like move up to the top, lock onto it again, make sure it's locked on properly, move down a little bit, don't fall off, but then you drop it and then it breaks. I'll try and do the build again and get up to that point. Honestly, this is one of the trickier parts because it's so easy to pull off. Yeah, so build the trees like that, build the bed, build this tree. I missed it, so yeah, again, we're going to lock on, pull it over this way a little bit, grab the bed, pull it up this way, put the trampoline down, do the tree strat here, like so. See, like, you do get very consistent with it. Yeah, so you drop the trampoline off like so. I'm going to lock onto the bottom trampoline. Bottom tree. Now we need to do a strat here. We're going to bind onto the tree. We need to move this tree. Normally you can't move objects that have other objects on them if you bound onto them, especially if you're riding it. But we can shift it if we're mid-air. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump, and at the peak of our jump, we're gonna like tap down a little bit, like so, and that shifted the tree down. I don't know if that did it enough. That was I fell off. That's so bad. Okay. Well, building it again. Don't worry, you're going to be building this like dozens of times, so don't get too worked up about it. If things are like in the way and stopping you from being able to climb up, you can hold ZR and then like a cutscene plays where you eliminate all of the echoes. Sometimes that's required to do because like something falls down and you can't get rid of it, and then it messes up the build order. So sometimes you might have to do that, but try and avoid it because it's a little bit too slow. So place this down, please. Okay, cool. See, that's why I don't like placing the trampolines while jumping on that trampoline. I try and place them without jumping up. Place this here, place the tree, then grab the tree, move the tree over to the left. Grab the bed, move the bed up. Trampoline, tree, bounce. Move the trampoline off. Get that tree, jump strat. Another little jump strat here. I just want to do it a little bit distance. Okay, so the point of that is so that when we place a sign right now, we're going to want to stand in this position so we're looking mostly upwards but slightly upright. We're going to get a sign, we're going to place it. Ideally, it's not going to push us off. Okay, so that wasn't a good spot. There we go, perfect. This sign is in the perfect spot right now in this position. It didn't push us off, so we're still on the tree. This sign is vertically, aligned with, as I said, the room boundary. The middle of the sign, horizontally, is the transition boundary between one room and the next. If we go onto the right-hand side of the sign, we will void out. To do this trick, we need to lock onto the sign so that we're facing it. You don't necessarily have to lock onto the sign, but we're doing it for consistency reasons, so we're always facing it. We need to read the sign the moment we enter the void area. So we're going to, whilst locked on, we're going to press right and we're going to press A the moment we move over onto the right-hand side. If you don't time it right, you void out. If you time it right, the text box opens. When the text box is open, you need to see if Zelda is actually on the right-hand side, because if you do it like this, Zelda's not on the right-hand side of the sign. We're not in the void out zone, so we're not in the right position. So you want to undo the sign, like close the text box, lock onto the sign again, move back over to the right, because you want to be moving at max speed. If you're perfectly on the edge and tap to the right, you have 0 frames to be able to actually get this. This isn't a frame-perfect trick, this part. This should be consistent, so we do that. Zelda is in a good position here. Zelda is pretty much on like the halfway mark, but like should be good enough. So we're going to assume that it's good. If it's not good, then it's fine. We're going to be opening a menu and nothing's going to happen, and that's fine. We can then move to the left and try this all again. So the aim of this part right now, to get the trick, this is map storage. We need to press either plus or minus and open a menu during the fade out of the box. Like we close the text box and we press plus or minus. I personally am just going to mash plus and minus so I don't have to think about the timing. People have figured out like some timing to it. When you press A, you'll notice the text box disappears. And like just as it's fading out, like it's like the arrow disappears, like the arrow at the bottom of the text box has a little bit of an animation, but then the text box starts fading out, and people get used to like reacting to that and pressing like plus and minus like once, like just like a couple frames apart. That gives you a little of a buffer zone, because if you end up pressing one like a couple frames too early, the other one's going to come in a little bit later and hit the right timing. And if you press them both in the right timing, then it's fine. Like, nothing bad's going to happen. Yeah, so it just gives you more leniency if you go, like, with the, plus minus. Some other people do an alternate strat where you hold L and you mash D-pad right. And that can, like, one of the benefits of that is that if you're mashing plus and minus, if you mash for too long after you get the trick, you then close the menu and it kills the trick. so you want to avoid those outcomes as much as possible. But if you hold L and mash D-pad right, you're going to get the echo menu to appear, which is, again, another menu, so it's fine. It doesn't matter which like way around we get these things, so it's fine no matter what. But because we're holding L, it's going to hold it open no matter how many times we keep mashing D-pad right, because either one of these open the echo menu. So we're going to go for it. I'm going to do the like the plus-minus mash because I find that the most consistent. So I like have like a claw grip here. I have my like index finger over plus and my thumb over minus, and I'm mashing like back and forth like this, and then I'm pressing A with my thumb. This is the strat that I do. No, didn't get it. It's a very, 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 very tight window. If you don't get it, well, you have to do the build again from the start. So, grab that, push, build. Why did that place there? Okay, I didn't want any of that to happen. Let's try this again. Okay, grab the boulder. Place and push the trampoline. Place another trampoline. Place another trampoline, jump up here. Drop the boulder here. Grab this chest. Jump up here. And then jump at this spot here, and the chest should be above the boulder, like so. Kind of a little bit dodgy, but that's fine, I think. Place the trampoline, grab this chest. Jump. Push the chest up. Put it on this spot here and drop it. Spin jump up here. And then now we get ready for the build. So, place a trampoline, place 2 trampolines, build a tree, build a second tree, put a bed down, get a tree again, grab the tree, drop it, move the bed up, place a trampoline, tree jump, move the trampoline off, grab this tree, jump, shift. That should be good enough. That was a decent shift. Just check the position. Yeah, that seems good. Place the sign down. Cool. And we're back to the setup again. Right. Try this strat. Okay, so that happened because I'm not far enough to the right. I haven't voided out. Now, I want to move back over to the left a little bit, because if I was so very close to the boundary, if I tapped right at all, Zelda wouldn't have been moving at max speed and like would have hit the trigger immediately, and there wouldn't have been any frame window to be able to actually press A. So we're gonna hold right, press A. Perfect. Okay, so we are in a good position here. So I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna mash. Perfect. Okay, so this is ideally what you want to happen, is a menu opens up. If you have the map menu open, that's great. You're exactly where we need to be. We're going to talk about what happens if you have any of the other things happen. If you have the pause menu open, what you want to do is you want to hold L, and this echo menu opens up. You then press minus, and then you get to this exact screen that we're on right now. You're able to freely change from one menu to another. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I pressed plus twice and killed it. Right, I'm gonna have to do the setup again. But yeah, don't press it twice. What you wanted to do is just press L and then press minus. I wanted to try and show from the pause menu, but I messed it up because I pressed the button twice instead of just once. But yeah, only press it like the minus menu once to bring up the map. And if you were doing the strat where you're holding L, all you need to do is just keep L held and press minus to bring up the map. And that's all you want to happen, is you just want to be on the map screen with either the echo menu up or not. If you're on the map screen and the echo menu is open, you can freely let go of the echo menu at that point. We're just holding the echo menu to preserve the map storage, or the menu storage to open the map on the bugged map. Okay, so we do the build again. Jump up here. Okay, place that there. Here, go. fast builds. Please. Right. Trampoline there. Trampoline. Why are the trampolines placing like that? I'm not adjusting my position. That's very odd. Okay, place. Cool. Bed. Trampoline. Tree. Grab the tree, didn't miss. Get it. Lock on, move it. Bed. Up. Trampoline. Place. Tree strap. Yo. Nope, didn't get it. That's very rare for me, honestly, failing the, that jump. Okay, place a trampoline. Do the build again. Don't place a sign. Place a bed. Place a tree. Grab the tree. Don't let go of it. It can be very tiring doing the setup over and over again if it keeps failing. But everything up to what we've done is purely, execution based. There's no luck to it whatsoever. It's all down to how good you can do your inputs. It can be a little bit luck based in terms of, can you get the timing on the opening the map after, during the void out. But, with enough practice, it should be, reasonably consistent for you. Okay, so we're going to try the strat again. Okay, lock on to the sign, press A. Perfect. Okay, so this is one of the demos I wanted to show. So you hold L, you press minus, and then you bring up the map. Release L, and we should have this bugged map open right now. I'm going to mouse over a warp point. I'm going to press A to select the warp option menu. The top option is warp, the bottom option is cancel. When this is open, we're going to press minus, and this is going to open a second map. From here, we just press A, and we cross our fingers because we're about to do a random wrong warp. We have no control where we're going to go. Let's have a look. We ended up warping. If this animation doesn't play, you got a no warp, and it's just RNG, it was just luck. It wasn't random number generation, but the game's reading junk memory and doesn't know what to do. This is the ideal outcome. Sometimes that warp can just crash, and you'll just get an error pop up, and the game will close, and then you have to load for your previous save, do the whole build again. Sometimes you don't warp here, you warp to this cave entrance in the beach. That also kills the trick because there's no, the whole aim of this trick that we just did is to skip this dungeon and escape the intro area because there's invisible walls all the way around this area. We cannot escape here. This is the only known way of escaping the intro without beating the first dungeon. And we're out of the out. You can go to anywhere in the overworld. It just so happens that this is the most common one. There's about 50% chance that you're going to land here out of all possibilities, crashes and everything included. 55% of the time you'll end up here. Sometimes you end up in other places. Sometimes you can end up further afield. You can end up Zora, out in the sea, the cross flows. Some people end up in Kakariko or Goron. That happens sometimes. What you need to know is there are two different warp points that you want to get to be able to set up the wrong warp to null. From this point on, we're going to be setting up a consistent wrong warp, a second one, directly to the final dungeon. Luckily, this is perfectly consistent, so once you're out, that's a huge chunk of the hard part of the run over. We'll go and show the two different warp points that are the most convenient that you want to get. There are 4 different warp points that work to warp us into the final dungeon. 2 of them are just really inconvenient and we're not gonna even bother showing where to get them, and yeah, the 2 are just very close to where we want to do the wrong warp from, so it's convenient to get them. I'll show optimal movement from this warp point because this is honestly the most common warp point that you're gonna end up going to. So let's get going. So gonna open up. We're going to start with the trampoline. We're going to move over here. Spin jump along these. Spin jump, spin jump, spin jump, jump. jump here, place a trampoline there, place a trampoline there. I'm going to spin all the way over here. I'm going to spin jump here onto this tree. If you don't get it, just place a trampoline there and jump up here. I'm going to spin jump here, spin jump up here. If you don't get it, you can try doing it again. It can be a little bit more convenient to do a trampoline jump like that if you find that jump a little bit trickier. We're going to spin over here, spin around this edge here. I don't know what's faster, to go around here or to go up the stairs and then, like, cut this corner off. It's almost identical, so it doesn't matter too much. Come over here, jump up here. You can place a trampoline anywhere on this wall to climb up to here. So from here, we're going to do a spin jump over here. That's one of the hardest jumps of this section. If you don't get it, you fall down here, and it's kind of tricky. You have to... you're going to have to place a trampoline, below these pots to jump up onto, like, this wall here, and then place down another trampoline to jump up to this section up here. But, like, yeah, we just move over to here, keep spinning over here, come through these trees here, spin jump into the water as far as you can to minimize the swim we have to do, spin over here, go above the tops of these trees, try not to hit the trees, you slow down there, so you just go around them slowly. So this is the warp point we want. This is the most convenient one we're going to get. I'll show the other ones, but like I'll first go directly to the warp point that we're going to do the wrong warp from. So we're going to head over to here, just doing spin movement. We're going to head over to this spot here, we're going to place down a trampoline, jump up here, come over to here, and here is where we're going to come. We're going to come here on the right hand side of this tree. This tree is halfway on the void out zone. On the left hand side of this tree is the void out, and that's where we're going to set up the trick from. If I show, there you go, there's the void out. This is a much easier spot to practice doing your map storage from. So if you want to, you can play through the first dungeon, get to here and practice doing map storage before you want to actually do runs and do the Suthorn Skip. But I just wanted to include Suthorn Skip. So sometimes you void out down here, that's like annoying, but it's fine. Like, if you do the void out again, you should end up back up here. Okay, yeah. If you void out up onto the top of the trees, it's kind of fine. So the other warp point that is convenient to use is gonna be over here. Oh, there is a thing there. I didn't realize that spawns. So the other warp point that we can use is this one right here. I'm gonna mark this on the map so you can see on the map where it is. This is the second warp point. Either one of these two warp points work for wrong warping to the final dungeon. So get whichever one is closest. And honestly, I've never in runs had to go and get this one, because I've never spawned over on the left-hand side of the map. It's always been on the right-hand side. But people have ended up warping over to somewhere like Kakariko Village and the ranch, and this is the most convenient one if you're going to end up over there. So just be aware that you might end up having to go to this warp. From here, we're going to avoid that guy. You're going to come up to here, place down a trampoline, place another trampoline down, trampoline, and up we come. I think that's the most optimal movement, unless I'm being dumb. I'm being very dumb. There we go. You can just do them with one trampoline. Okay, so you just build like that. That's fine. Just like bam, bam, up we come. So then we're going to be placing a sign here, and then we're going to do the void out from here. I don't like this void out spot. I'm going to go show the other one, but like that's just for your just if you're aware, like, and you want to know, for every eventuality, if you ever end up on the left hand side of the overworld, that's where you want to go. But back over to here, we're going to place down a sign there. That's exactly where we want to place it. Sometimes you place a sign like over here, like to the left of it, to the right of it, whatever. Just keep placing all signs or whatever until you get a sign here. We're going to lock onto this sign. We're going to pass over to the left hand side of it by holding left and pressing, and then we're going to press A when we're on the left hand side of it before we void it out, like so. Perfect. Now we're going to do exactly the same strat that we talked about before with either you mash L and like minus and plus, mash like hold L, mash D-pad right, Or you just learn the timing by, like, doing that. Like, I just YOLO'd the timing and I managed to get it. So, we're not going to be doing a random wrong warp. We're going to be doing an index warp. Very important, we're going to be preserving map storage until we enter a dungeon. Entering the dungeon is the vital component that is going to make this consistent. So we're going to hold L to bring up the echo menu, and this is going to preserve menu storage. We're going to go and select the warp point by the dungeon. I'm going to press A to open the warp menu, and I'm going to press A again to select the warp point. Keep L held the entire time. Do not let go of L from this point on until I tell you to. That warp would have cancelled menu like map storage if we weren't holding on to L to keep the it going. So you can either hold L or you can hold D-pad right. D-pad right also works. Okay, I just cancelled that. Yeah, don't do what I did and like swap from L to D-pad right. Just hold one down and keep it held down. Just choose either L or D-pad right, whichever one's more convenient. As I'm making this abundantly clear, this track is very volatile, and the smallest input issue makes it fail. So give it some practice before you start doing runs. You want to not mess up like this in runs. But yeah, if you ever mess up, warp to the sanctuary, place down that trampoline there, and come to this spot here, and you can try to do the sign again. Lock onto the sign. There we go. Do the strat. Perfect. Hold L. Open the map if you haven't had it open, and then walk to this point here, and just keep L held the whole time. Never let it go. So we're going to move over to here. You can use the mini-map on the bottom right-hand corner to see the movement that we need to do. But yeah, as soon as you do the void in, you're holding up right and then you're spinning. You're spinning over to this spot here, where you press A to enter the dungeon. You remember, it's that big glowy golden part on the ground. We're going to press A over that, and it puts us into the dungeon. So now we press minus to bring the map up. And from now, we can let go of the echo menu. We have preserved menu storage, and we have the menu storage map open. Now, we want to select a warp. It doesn't matter which warp, it can be any warp. So we're going to press D-pad left. It's going to change the map to the overworld map, because we don't have any warps inside the dungeon. There is one, but we just don't get it, because why bother? There's not much point to it. I'm going to select this warp point, because it's the closest one. I'm going to press A to bring up the warp menu. With the warp menu open, we press minus to bring up a second map. We're going to press D-pad left to bring up the overworld. And you can see that the warp menu is still there. We're going to hold up and move up to this spot here. And now you need to pay attention to the warp menu. Look at where it's highlighted. It's highlighting cancel right now. So you want to, on the right stick, just tap down, and it moves it to the up position. You want to make sure that selector is over the warp option and not the cancel option. Very important that you make sure that that is the case. When you move the cursor up to hover over the either one of these two waypoints, it doesn't matter which waypoint you hover over, by the way, either one of these two is fine. Just make sure that the warp selection option is over warp and not cancel. So now, the inputs to do the index warp. The whole point of index warp is we're like getting the data for a warp point in the overworld. The game wants to look up a table somewhere like for where to warp us, and there's a big table for overworld warps. It knows what number down the list of the table this warp point is. What we're going to do is we're going to open the dungeon map and press A, like whilst this is all like almost simultaneously, and that's going to make the game look up not the overworld tables, like index value, but it's going to look at the dungeon warp. And it just so happens that the ID values for this warp and the other warp in the overworld line up with the final dungeon. And we're going to wrong warp into the final dungeon. So the inputs are literally just D-pad right and A almost identically. It's like, budum. That's the timing you want to do. So I'm going to demonstrate it now. But like so. It's that simple. The timing is extremely lenient. I've never failed it. And yeah, and if everything's correct, you should warp here. If you warp to the sanctuary, you pressed A before you press D-pad right. If you warp somewhere else, like inside of a dungeon, if it's most likely going to be Gerudo, you press the D-pad right to, like you didn't press A fast enough after the D-pad right. You press D-pad right, then you press A too slowly. You just go boom with the timing, and it works every single time. And now we're in Null, and now we're in the final dungeon. And if you notice, we don't really have that many echoes. I wasn't supposed to have a Zol, just pretend that we don't have one. All we need is what we have right now, and we're going to beat the boss. It's going to be a little bit tricky, but we should be able to do it. So, very important, we're in a bugged version of Null right now. Link should have been in this room. Link wasn't in this room. If we go to the next room, Link's going to be here, and it's fine. Like, some of these rooms are supposed to have Link doing certain actions that are going to help us out, but sometimes the rooms just don't have Link, and that's a big problem. One of the rooms is going to cause a soft lock, and that's fine. We have a way of avoiding that soft lock, but we're going to get to that point in due course. But first, we have a fight coming up. There is a big fight in this room. There's 3 waves of enemies that we're going to have to fight. If you end up dying, it's fine. You'll respawn here, so don't worry too much. And also, if we open up the like the pause menu, by the way, every time you open up the pause menu for the first time and come over to the save and load options, there's going to be that prompt that appears, so just be aware of that. When we do the Softlock Skip, there's going to end up being a thing there. But this top option is save, to save the game. This option is load, to load something. So if you can see, there's a bunch of, the game constantly makes autosaves, so you can keep loading autosaves in case anything bad happens, and it will go back to the, like, just before something that you were trying. And you can keep retrying something by using the autosaves. Is a good thing for like practicing things over and over again. And you are gonna want to practice Null a lot. It's a tricky section of the game. Like, we have almost nothing, and we're on the verge of dying. We are one-shotted by almost everything, so I'd give this a lot of practice. So yeah, just so you're aware, there is an autosave here, so no biggie if you die. If you die, it's just a small amount of time loss as you go to the previous room and play through again. So for here, we're going to want to select the urchin. A tiny optimization. If during the wrong warp strat, you know we had the L menu open, you can hover over the urchin whilst like the cutscenes are playing and stuff, so that you already have the urchin ready at this point. Like, just tiny optimization, it barely matters. But yeah, we're gonna come into here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna come and stand in this bottom right corner and put a bunch of urchins down. And we're gonna be like jump Y, jump Y, jump Y. And that should kill all of these guys. Got really unlucky. Link wasn't really doing his job here. Okay, so that will get the first wave done. Sometimes you might get hit. It's not too big of a deal. But this next wave, there's going to be 2 blobs of Keese and 1 blob of the Giro. I think, I can't remember their name, but it's a flying guy that shoots bombs. And they're at the top of the room, and they're a huge pain in the ass to deal with. Like, they suck. We're going to do a strat to kill the blob before it spawns the enemies. But only the really annoying one. The Keese are fine. The Keese are gonna just kill themselves on the urchins. That's great. The Keese like to lock onto the urchins. It's really cool. But yeah, sometimes the Keese hit us, and we just want to make sure that we're maintaining our position by using the iframes to, like get into position before we get hit. So we want to overhead view and stand in this spot here. If you see, it's like, there is like a connection between like 3 lines, and we're like on the right hand side of that, like the connection point. If we stay stood here perfectly, we should avoid getting hit. I might be a little bit too far to the right, honestly, and if I get hit, then that's fine. But we then place 3 urchins like in a triangle pattern around us. Ah, it was too high. Yeah. Okay, so if that fails, but if you saw, like, the main, like, idea with that is you saw the thing was circling around us and not hitting us, but my position was just slightly too bad. Like, you get used to practicing, like, the exact positioning on that, and then you'll get this very consistent. The keys can always mess around with you, but if it ever fails, this is the backup strat. So we want to jump and then grab the thing and drag it down as quickly as possible. And, like, we're going to pull it over to Link. Link's going to jump, kill. Okay, if they throw bombs at you, just press A to throw it. So we're going to jump, grab, and pull it down like so. Okay, once this guy dies, it was going to start the final phase, which is going to be a Lynel. Please, Link. Just kill it. Okay, cool. We're going to stand on this spot right here. You see there's a little pink dot below Zelda? Like, we're stood right here. I'm going to place down urchins like so. So this is the Lynel. If we stand right here, it's just not going to kill us. It's not gonna hit us, and yeah, GG's. That Lynel one-shots us from full health, and Link cannot kill it very quickly at all. But yeah, like, so ideally, after the blobs in the second phase, you want to move down to the spot and place down the urchins before the blob for the Lynel spawns. Don't leave it so late as I was with the urchins. I just wanted to demonstrate the position. But yeah, it's pretty much here. Like, that's ideal where you want to be stood with the, like, for the Lynel. And then for like, the second fight, you pretty much want to be here. It's like here. This might be a little bit too far left. It might want to be, like, somewhere like here. This is ideally the spot you want to be stood. So, those two, like, that's Lynel Skip. With swordless Lynel Skip. You can do strats with sword to make it easier, but we don't have the sword, so... And we're on low health. If you die, it's fine. You respawn on 3 hearts. It's honestly not a huge time loss. Okay, so now this here, this is the Softlock room. So when we hit the switch, we walk up to this spot here. Link is supposed to walk in front of that door and then move into the next room. Link is not in this room right now. If you noticed, down here, there was supposed to be a cutscene play that opens like a barrier here, but we can walk through here. We need to solve this puzzle first and then do the next room, but we're going to come back through here and we're going to go on Link's side, and it's going to help skip some rooms later. So, what's the strat here? So, we're going to build some beds. We're going to build 1, 2, 3 beds. I'm going to jump to this spot here. You can either jump all the way over to that block on the right, or you can jump like around the corner like I did here. I'm going to spin up here a couple of times. I'm going to face to the right. I'm going to lock onto this. We're going to select the urchin, and we're going to jump, place the urchin, and then pause. Or, not pause, but we're going to hold L to bring up the echo menu. That was too slow. So, this is the cutscene that plays. If you hit the switch, this is a soft lock. What you need to do is you want to press the menu button, like the switch menu, press X to close the game, and then open the game up again on the same profile. Just mash A to select the file straight away. Select the top file and then press load. There was an autosave made just before. You're literally going to be 1 room back. It's really easy to retry. There's not a huge... It's literally the same room. You may have to retry this a lot. This trick is frame perfect. Just so you're aware. So we're going to place down an urchin. And then we're going to... What we want to do is we want to frame advance by releasing and repressing the echo menu. You need to get used to the timing of this. So that you have some frames of leniency. There is 1 frame that if you press it, the game doesn't advance any speed at all. This is called a 0 frame buffer. The game, like, the echo menu will, like, close and reopen, but the game won't advance any frames forwards. That's very safe. If you're 1 frame slower than that, the game advances 1 frame. If you're 1 frame slower than that, the game advances 2 frames. We're trying to hit a 1 frame window, so you need to be trying to like pause buffer 1 frame at a time. It's very tricky. Honestly, you're gonna have to practice this a decent amount to get good at it. But yeah, you hold L and then you release and repress with the right timing. You're just gonna have to get used to the rhythm of it. So, the urchin is spawning above the switch right now. We want to frame advance to the point that the urchin does 1 frame of, like, damage to the switch. If you look at the switch, it's going to be, like, dark, but then it's going to, like, shine bright purple and have, like, a hit marker on it. I honestly probably hit it. I think I did hit the frame with the the sound effect. I'm not sure. I need to actually give that a try because I didn't actually see the visual, but there was a sound effect. Let's give that a try. If I sound uncertain, it's because this game is a week and a half old. Look, strats are coming out daily. Like, I literally learned this urchin version today, so... Okay, so urchin. I was too slow. Yeah, sorry. No, I wasn't too slow. I was too fast. So that was a big problem. Was I was like I did one of my advances too fast, and that meant that the echo menu just didn't open again. If you're frames faster than the 0 pause, 0 frame advance, you get the menu just doesn't open and it kills the buffer. So you do have to, like, there is a very tight timing to it. Oh, wrong guy. Damn it. I got like a double frame advance right before it hit. Yeah, I was doing almost 0 and 1 frame advances, and then I got a double frame advance. Yeah, you're just gonna have to practice this a lot. It's pretty tricky, but it's doable. You can even try just doing a YOLO press, but like I want to just show you the frame that is correct. Because if you just YOLO and land on it, then like you need to know what it looks like. There we go. You heard the sound effect. It's glowing right now. That's the hit. This is exactly the frame that you want to hit. Now, whilst you're in this in the echo menu, you press plus, and it brings up the thing, and then you can let go of the echo menu. Go to the option here. If you didn't open to this menu before, there'll be a text prompt for here, but you press A to select save on the top option. Select the top option, and then that's saved. And then we're going to go down one to the load option. I'm going to select the one that we just made, and then press load. Up, D-pad up and load. Or up on the D-pad. Or on the stick. And if you time that correctly, you would hear the switch being hit when the file was getting loaded, and the doors are open. If you didn't time it right, the doors will be closed, and you just try it again. So, yeah, that's the softlock strat, softlock, like, avoidance strat, softlock skip. It's pretty tricky, you want to practice it. You can load a previous save if you want to, like, keep trying it. Any of the autosaves from just before let you retry it, but you will have a save at this point. You can only keep one real save of the game at a time. If you do another save, or if you had a previous manual save, it's gone. You can only have one manual save. And then the game just has 5 autosaves. There are 5 autosaves that will constantly just like keep overwriting. So there's only like is a little bit tricky to practice, to have things like set up for practice like saves and autosaves. But that's why I said make multiple profiles and have each profile set up with their own saves that you just never wipe over. And you just load from those saves and practice from that point. Okay, so this trick. So there's a fight coming up in here. This is kind of a tricky fight. There's a Tektite, a Wolfos, and a flower guy, a Gaponga flower or something. I'm just going to call it a flower. So for this strat, what we want to do is this fight should be pretty doable without taking damage. Like, it's not trivial at first. You're most likely going to die, honestly. These things don't one-shot you, but they will two-shot you, absolutely. The flowers projectile definitely one-shots you, so we're going to be doing a strat that's going to constantly stun-lock the flower, so it won't ever fire at us, and it'll be nice and easy. But the other guys we're going to have to kind of pay attention to. So the first one is the Tektite. We're going to grab onto the Tektite using bind by pressing X. We're going to lock onto it and press X. And then we need to pay attention to the Wolfos whilst we are, like, muscle memory doing the next part. So I'll walk through, like, what we want to do with the flower. So I'm going to grab the Tektite, or get hit by it immediately, because that's great. If you die here, no big deal, just press retry, and you'll load in the room before, and you lost seconds. Oh my god. Wow. Grab that guy like so, and then we're going to start putting these guys in a spot like this. Very important, with the Wolfos, we do not want the Wolfos to go to the top of the room. If it goes into the top right corner, it's going to come down and attack us from the bottom. It's very important that we're positioning ourselves directly in the opposite corner, like the opposite side of the flower from the Wolfos. So just constantly adjust your position by doing that. But all the time, what we're doing right now is we're just we're jumping and placing urchins. Like, a huge amount of the damage strats of what we're going to be doing from this point on, and especially in the earlier, like, fight just before this, we jump and place an urchin. And we just keep spamming that. Jump urchin, jump urchin, jump urchin. And that just consistently does a lot of damage. Not a lot of damage. Urchins only do 2 points of damage, whereas something like Link's Sword Slash is going to be doing 6 or 8 or 12 or something like that. So, like, yeah. Urchins, not very good, but it's consistent and, like, rapid hitting damage, so we can deal with these guys eventually. But absolutely the fastest strat is to get Link to kill these guys, and we'll go into that a little bit later. So, yeah. So, keep jump placing. If the Tektite's honestly at the top like this, we want to place them up here like this, and have the... I want to make sure we kill the Tektite before the Wolfos hits us. Okay, now bind this Wolfos and put him over in this corner. Link is really struggling in this fight. Oh my god. Okay. But we'll hold the Wolfos on this left-hand side. And ideally, if Link deals with his side of the fight quickly, the Wolfos will get killed by Link's spin attacking. Once all of the enemies are dead, then we want to exit down the bottom entrance. We don't want to go up the top. But what was happening there, Link was getting really, like, was struggling really hard with those enemies. Sometimes we have to help Link out. Lock on to one of the enemies that's giving him trouble, normally the Freezed. And you want to pull it away from Link. You want to bind it. Yeah, this is going to end the fight. So, the end of the fight, you want to position yourself at the bottom the bottom corner of the room, right by the entrance as close as possible. But sometimes you're going to have to, like, bind the Freezed. I'll demonstrate with this urchin. So the Freezer's going to be around here or something. You're going to grab it and just pull it into this corner so it's out of the way. And then you want to come over here and, like, re-grab it or something so it's right here. So, like, it's right here, you're right here. And what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to jump place urchins onto this side and just kill it. Try and do that. The Freezers have really low health, honestly. Link just super struggles because he keeps getting frozen. But if you can avoid Link getting frozen by, like, pulling the freezers out the way. Link can deal with the other guys like the Darknut and the Moblin, and then he can kind of jump over and kill the freezer at the end. But we're saying this bottom left-hand corner so that we can get to this exit as quickly as possible at the end of the fight. Right. So we're not continuing with the dungeon in the intended way because we're in a bugged version of the dungeon where this entrance is not open. If you're playing through the dungeon normally, you have to play through the dungeon normally. There is a barrier here that's stopping us from being able to go this way. But we can go this way. And that has huge implications because when we go into this room, we're in this room. We're on this side with Link. If you've played through this dungeon already, you know that there's a bunch of rooms that we have to come through, and then we come through on the left-hand side, and then there's a whole puzzle of, like, helping Link up through here. So, what we're going to do from this point, we're going to get the trampoline. We're going to grab Link. You can grab Link as soon as you load into the room, but, like, yeah. So, from here, we're going to place a trampoline here. We're going to push it, put another trampoline down, face to the right, get a tree, place a tree here, place a tree down here, and then we're going to place a trampoline on this lower tree, push it once, and jump, place another trampoline down, and then we're up here, like so. So it's like a double trampoline stack, 2 trees, and then another double trampoline stack. That simple. I'm going to place Link, he's going to kill this thing, we're going to jump and like over the top of his head, and hit the switch as quickly as possible. Yeah, like us hitting the switch as early as possible just like makes it go faster. So this room here, you want to enter the doorway as centered as possible and try and do like a jump through the doorway if you can. There's no text boxes through here, so I was not paying attention. There's no text boxes through here, so you don't need to do any text mashing at all through Null. It's just movement. Like, there's these slow cutscenes where we just, like, pause and nothing happens, but yeah. Just time your spins. And now, from this point, this is the point of no return into the Null fights. So, Null is the hardest part of the fight. Hardest part of the fight. Hardest part of the run. Really tricky. So, there's going to be a cutscene here. So, you mash pause. And then Null immediately spawns, and you jump, and if you press the right button, you can jump and grab the first hand immediately. Just make sure you're locking on, jump, and then you want to jump and then press X whilst you're right next to the claws and the arms. This whole fight is gonna come down to how consistently can you jump grab the arms. It's really tricky. You're just gonna have to practice it a lot, but the most consistent way of doing it is to get like lock on, get really up close, jump right into its face, and press X, and then you should bind onto it instantly. Try not doing it from max range because it makes it slightly less consistent. You also need to be aware of the animation cycles on these claws. They like to do their attacks, and you need to dodge those attacks. And in the middle of those attacks, they can't be bound. So get used to like the timing. Like if they're in the middle of attack and you try jump binding onto them, it won't. You'll hit it like with the bind, but then it won't actually like latch on. It's very annoying, but yeah, you gotta get used to the timings on things like this. So we're gonna pull it max distance. You can see the middle of the arm turns white. Oh, that was a really bad timing. There we go. So what a nice easy timing for like after they've done an attack and the arm is like palm on the floor. That's perfect. That's a really easy timing for you to lock onto them. They're super vulnerable at that point. And then you pull it max distance. You just want to pull it max distance out towards Link so that there's that white bit exposed like that. Like you can see the white exposed there. That is tricky to get in certain positions, but you just want to try and pull it max distance and hold it. As soon as you get a white position like this, just stop moving. Because most likely, if you keep trying to keep pulling, you'll end up moving into a position that the game doesn't like, and then it will stop being vulnerable. The whole point of this fight is that if we pull the arms out to make them vulnerable for Link, Link one-shots them. These things have 140 health. That is a lot of health for Link and us right now with the amount of things that we have to be able to do. We're super lucky that this one-shots them. This makes this fight actually doable. If we didn't have like this option to just one shot and do 140 damage in one hit, almost nothing else we can do is like worthwhile. Like seriously, the urchins do 2 damage. Like we have to hit them 70 times. That's not on. We wouldn't be able to do this fight like that. Anyway, so we pull it max distance, and then Link spins the thing. Grab it when it's down, and then Link does the spin attack. So from this position, when we've killed all of the arms, Null is going to be close to one of the walls. We want to try and okay, first off, we want to get the urchin out because we're going to be doing damage to this guy. This guy is Null has a total health from the very start of the fight that gets lowered down every time you kill an arm. If you insta-kill an arm, you do 140 damage to the main body. Every hit on an arm or the main body does damage off of the main body's health. But then, like, killing the arm with the spin attack does 140 damage to the boss. So we need to kill those arms as quickly as possible. Ideally, we'll have some urchins down so they're just ticking damage on the main boss. But at this point, the boss is fully vulnerable and it's got a little bit of health left, and we just want to, like, push it down to 0 to kill this phase, and then move on to the next phase. So yeah, we're just going to be doing our urchin spam. So we're going to jump spam urchins, lock on jump spam urchins. So it's on the right hand side of the arena. We're standing on the right hand side closer to the wall, because when the end of this fight phase happens, we're going to spam urchins and get a couple more hits in. Like you hear there, I got 2 more hits. Now we stand in the middle of the room. I'm going to grab these and pull them out from the wall. Get used to jump grabbing them like so. Dodge that one, and then grab it whilst it's on the ground, and then pull it. And there we go. And then now we're repeating the cycle. This is just 3 cycles, exactly the same every time. There's almost no difference between any of these cycles. Except if you get the thing out or not. Yeah, so I like to put urchins down whilst I pull it max distance, because otherwise we're just standing still not doing anything. So pull. Get a couple hits in. Gonna jump spam urchins around because I want to position Zelda in this spot here. Please hit. You might have to adjust your position about a bit with these jump spams of the urchins to get the right spot. Gonna go to the right, and then we waste down the urchins to get hit. Right. Link, please. So Link's gonna have some RNG throughout this fight, and we just gotta roll with whether or not he wants to actually help us or not. Okay. This sucks. Yeah, that's bad RNG from this. Like, sometimes it does this attack, and sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, we just need to pull it into position so that Link can hit it. But if we get good timings on our, like, grabs... You saw there, like, I'm trying to grab it in the middle of its animation, and it just doesn't like it. Okay. Ooh, I got stuck under it. Okay. Please. Ah, no. Okay, bad. That's fine. Every time we pull one of these arms... This is real pear-shaped. There we go. Every time we pull one of these arms out, it drops a heart. So you don't need to worry about health. Okay, make sure that damage was out of the way. This is the end. Once we do enough damage, the phase is going to end. Okay, there we go. And now we mash pause to skip this cutscene coming up. There we go. And now we keep mashing pause because there's going to be another cutscene that comes up. Here. Okay, this part now, this is Null 2. This is an auto-scroller. We literally don't need to do any damage to the boss until the very end, so we just swim. So, yeah, just a good time to practice your spinning. Avoiding the enemies, like, just learn your path through here. Hit the bubbles so that you refill on health, breath. It fully restores, so, like, you can just hit at it, like, any of them on the way. Can I actually spin through? Try and not get hit by the echoes that it spawns. And try and not get stuck behind him. Try and swim past him as much as possible to get him to move forwards as quickly as possible. So we're coming up on the end here. So there's going to be, like, a big barrier on, like, the upper half after this section here. Yeah, here you go. So this is the very end. As soon as Null passes underneath the upper, like, blockade there, they have 1 HP. We're going to hit them with 1 urchin, and it's just going to end the fight. It doesn't matter where we hit the main body or one of the arms or anything. We just place an urchin the moment that it hits the, it gets to the right position. So there. Like, we hit it even earlier. Like, that's how early you can get. And just make sure you're mashing plus at that point to skip the cutscene. Here, another cutscene. And now, this is Null 3. This is the hardest part. This is the hardest part of the whole, like, Null fights up to this point. Like, Null 3 is going to be seriously tricky. You're going to have to get used to it. Especially the final, like, the Darknut phases, the Lizalfos stages, certain and certain like boss waves are just really tricky to dodge, and so you're gonna have to do a lot of practice, especially like the Lizalfos and the Darknut phases. Like, we're gonna be using boulder strats to make it quite easy, but like you want to do a lot of practice for them. And yeah, as I said, the final phase, there's a bunch of really tricky boss waves that you want to practice, because the bosses one-shot us, so we just want to not die. Luckily, we're in a bugged version of the Null fights, so if you want, you can press pause and save right now. You shouldn't be able to save in a normal playthrough, but we can. Also, you can just play like normal, and most likely there will be an autosave. But if you want to be super safe, you can just make a save right now, and you'll skip all of those previous Null fights. If you ever die from this point on, you'll just start the boss from this point here. Right, so let's get into the boss. So the first thing we want to do is we want to just, like, run up left and grab the closest arm that is, like, grabbing a try. There are 2 different kinds of arms in this phase. There's the ones that are claws and the ones that are holding tries. And if we kill all of the arms that are holding tries, it stops boss waves from spawning, and then we can deal with the claws. The problem is the claws keep hitting us, so we gotta be careful and gotta dodge those claws. But guaranteeably the safest, most consistent, and fastest version of the fight is taking out all of the back arms first before we touch the claw ones. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so spin it up here, jump grab, pull it down here. Link's gonna spin attack that. I'm gonna try and get a double. Link didn't go for it. Depending on your timing and depending how, like, Link behaves, you can get a double where you get 2 arms killed in the same window. Doubles aren't required; they're just very lucky, and they help cut out the number of boss waves you need to do. But honestly, it's not hard required. If each one you only kill 1 arm, that's fine. You're gonna get 2 boss waves, and they're pretty much scripted. This first boss wave is Talus. Super easy to dodge. You just stand in the outer edge of the arena, like this. So we're positioning us... By the way, we've moved all the way to the right-hand side of the arena because Link is on the left-hand side of the arena right now. We killed the back left arm, so it's the back middle arm and the back right arm that are still vulnerable, and they're going to spawn exactly where Link is. Null is going to spawn in the arena, the opposite side of the arena from where Zelda is. So because we've positioned ourselves right here, we're basically manipulating the boss to go into the position that he's closest to Link. If he's closest to Link, gives us the best chance to get a double. And also, if we ever, like, miss our grabs or anything, it gives us that buffer so that we can guaranteeably get an arm kill, and we never miss any cycles, or get, like, any extra cycles. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to spin over to here. You see he spawns in this spot here. So we jump grab this arm. Oh, Link didn't... Yeah, so that was really unfortunate. Dude, no. Okay, so I got a nice demo there of getting fucked by the game. Sometimes you pull the arm max distance and it will just, like, hover in and out of the, like, being vulnerable. I pulled it max distance. There was nothing more I could do. And it's not something we have any understanding about. It just seems to be game jank. It's just not something you can deal with. And unfortunate, you're just going to have to roll with that. That's worst case scenario, honestly. Other than dying, obviously. But, like, if you get something like this, it's just going to force extra cycles, and there's not much you can do about it. It really sucks. Okay, so to skip this boss fight, we stand at the very top right-hand corner. We get the these guys to fire tornadoes. One at the top right, like so. And then, like so. Once they start their animation for beginning the tornadoes, like, they're locked in on that angle. But yeah, we just move across the top of the arena. And the tornadoes basically just don't hit us at that point. So it's free. There's nothing tricky to that. So place urchins on these spots here. And then if we maintained our position, like if you were in the position that I was, then Null is always going to spawn in the way that they did, where they're on the right hand side of the arena, and like I always align with a spot on the ground where I place those urchins. And we just want to get urchins on the ground so that they're just doing damage to the boss. As I said, every damage to the arms does damage to the main body as well. So then when we kill all of the arms on the main body's health isn't like as high as it could have been because it's been hit a little bit by urchins. So it helps save a small amount of time. And because we had some downtime there, might as well put some urchins down. So yeah, we've pulled one arm. And we're going to go and pull the other arm. Link just killed that. If we're lucky, we're going to get a double. Okay, cool. Link, please, 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 Link. There we go. Okay, good job, Link. So there's the double. We got 2 arm pulls before the boss wave. I keep failing to lock on. There we go. Cool. Right. Honestly, like, yeah, you see it phased in and out there? That wasn't great. Okay, so as with Null 1, we're going to position ourselves between the wall and Null. And just jump spam urchins. And then we're going to spam more down. Cool. Right, so here we're going to select boulders. And then we're going to run to the middle of the arena so that as soon as we see where the arm's spawning in from, it's basically random. We can just rush over to it. There's like the specific points that it does, like that it goes to more commonly. So you will get used to that. Like it's the top right or the top left, like basically are the 2 common ones that the first one's going to spawn. So you just pay attention to those 2 spots and then rush over to it as soon as it spawns in. Yeah, there we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull it over to the side so that Link can just kill it straight away. We're going to be placing boulders. Like, look, there's a Darknut spawned. Okay, so the Darknut was chasing after me. So I'm just going to place down boulders and then the Darknut hits the boulders and doesn't hit us. Like, boulders just make this so much easier because the Darknuts just can't hit us. You saw that shadow on the ground was chasing me. So the way to dodge the shadow on the ground is you just walk. Like, you either if it's headed directly towards you, you move towards it, and then you just spin through it. And then it normally just grabs the air and doesn't grab you. Or if it was following me like I was, like just happened. You saw what I did was, I didn't spin immediately. I just did a little bit of a walk so that it got right underneath me, and then I spun. Like, you want to get to it as close as you can to it and then spin so that it grabs the air, but you just, like, spin away from it. It's a bit tricky, but this is very... It's a huge time loss if you get grabbed by one of those things. You lose 35 seconds to having to spam urchins to try and kill the thing to break out. Unless Link is, like, comes over and breaks you out faster because he does more damage, but it's unlikely that you're going to get that because he's too busy fighting Darknuts. And most likely the Darknut's going to come over and kill you. It will just slash and hit you in one hit. If you get hit by a Darknut, it does 2.5 hearts of damage, so it doesn't one-shot, but if you've taken any damage, it will kill you in one hit. The concepts of this phase are going to be very similar and going to apply to the Lizalfos stage later as well, so getting practice on this with the boulder strats is going to help a lot with the Lizalfos. So Lizalfos is a little bit different, but like it's the same overall concept. So we're going to grab the arm as quickly as possible. Try not to get hit. It spawned on us. Okay, it only did 2 hearts of damage. But yeah, as I said, when you pull an arm... Okay. Okay, you see the Duke strap that I just did there? So I was pulling the arm one way when the thing was rushing towards me, and then I just double backed and I went back the other way, went straight over the top of the shadow thing, and it just grabbed the air and didn't grab us. It's very scary, but like if you do that, you can avoid getting grabbed. The Darknuts can just hit you whilst this is going on. This is so RNG heavy, like it's so luck based. You are likely just going to get hit by Darknuts that are just in the wrong spot at the wrong time at the right time. So yeah, a lot of this is very luck based. But if you pull into the corner when there isn't the shadow coming after you and put boulders down, the Darknuts can't hit you. And then Link just kills it like so. Okay, grab this heart because I'm being a baby. No. Okay. I'm just gonna run around here for a little bit just to show how to dodge, but yeah. We're gonna... If you saw, once I locked onto the arm and grabbed it, I can let go of lock on and then start placing boulders around me without being locked on facing towards it. So you can just make a barrier of boulders around you, and then the Darkness just can't hit you. Yeah, the biggest concern is just like the Shadow Dude, and yeah. Dodge the Shadow Dude. Try not to get grabbed. As soon as Link kills, like, the last one, Null begins, like, the next phase. So, we're going to repeat everything exactly again from the beginning. We're going to rush to the back 3 arms and try and pull them and get Link to kill them as quickly as possible. Try and get doubles if we can. If not, getting one in is perfectly fine. The only difference is the boss waves are going to be different. In the previous one, it was Talus and then, like, the Tornado guys, and those were free. Like, they're so easy to dodge, they don't even hit us. This one's going to be a little bit harder, but they're also going to be scripted. It's always going to be the same order. It's always going to be the 3 Ganons firing, like, trying to do the spear attack on us, and then it's going to be the Ice Dude that's going to spin around. There's always going to be those. If you ever... take more cycles, it just cycles, it just loops those, it just goes back and forth between those. So yeah, you always know what the next one's that's gonna come up will be. But yeah, let's play through up to Ganon and the things to show you how to do those. Please. Alright, we pulled the back one by accident. Okay, Link pulled it. We're gonna get the double. Link. No, not quite. Okay, so to dodge this, you can either go to the bottom or the top right or the top left. Basically, you want to be going behind one of them, between them and the wall, and you want to be on their anti-clock, like, you want to be going anti-clockwise around them. So, like, in the top right corner, where I am, I want to be on, like, the right-hand side of them, then I'm going to go up and, like, left up anti-clockwise around them, the room. Just with the way that they stab, it's just easier to dodge them that way. The reason why we're standing between them and the wall is that the other 2 guys are just completely ignorable. I prefer doing either the bottom or the top right, because the order that they do the stabs is always top left, bottom, top right. It's always going to be in that order. If you try and go to the top left one, unless you're already in that corner, it's going to be a little bit tricky to dodge, because you don't have much time. Bottom is kind of fine sometimes. Top right, again, it's fine. You just go to the corner that you're closest to, basically, to get the dodge. So we're going to show it. So we just wait here. And then, yeah. I kind of paused super late during that, so you couldn't quite see. But, yeah. The other 2 guys you just ignore, and you just focus on the one that's right next to you. As soon as, like, you can see that it's always, like, rotating to start stabbing you, and then as soon as it locks in and at an angle, then you just like spin dash like up to get away from it, and you just dodge it. I'm probably making it look harder than it is. It's very consistent. You can just keep moving, honestly, if you have the right timing. You just like keep moving up and around. But yeah, that's the Ganon phase done. Like, it should be 100% dodgeable every single time, no matter what happens. No, okay. Yeah, so after the first wave, after the first, like, phase of these, fights, the claws then start, doing, like, their attacks. The first one is kind of free. Null just stands there until it spawns a boss. But now, as soon as the boss wave ends, you have a couple seconds to, like, try and jump grab the arm. If you don't, like, get it immediately, then the claw has enough time to, like, do its attack, where it Null tries to like position itself so that it can like hit you with its claw. That's really annoying when that happens, and that's just a timing issue. That's yeah, not jump grabbing the arm fast enough. You want to try and avoid that, but sometimes it just happens and it's fine. You can still get the arm pull in time before the next boss wave, but the chance at a double is basically dead at that point, but that's fine. We'll try and get a double here. Link? Oh my god, Link did it. Okay. So I won't be able to show the... I won't be able to show the other boss wave here, because I got the double. But basically the strat is, we go to the closest wall that we're at, we place boulders like this around, and just make a little hidey hole, and then the ice spinning guys will just never hit us. Ever. Like, they will just bounce off the boulders, and it's completely free, and then you can keep trying again. And then, like, if you miss the arm pull, and you get another boss wave, and then it will be Ganon again, you just do the same one. These should be, like, repeatedly, like, avoidable. Like, you can ignore killing the arms, and just practice dodging the boss waves if you want. I did that, and it helped a lot with being able to dodge these guys more consistently. But these are just like the ideas for it. Okay, so Null 3 can, if the top wall is the closest wall, you want to go and stand up on the top wall. But with Null 1, it only goes left or right. But so here we're going to go and stand here. And just jump spam urchins. I'm going to spam urchins, get a couple of hits in. Nice, cool. Now we have the Lizalfos phase, so we're going to get the boulders ready. Over here. So I did like a little Duke strat there, where like I start pulling the arm over in one direction for it to spawn the enemy high, like out the way, a little bit towards Link, I guess. Or like it. Ideally, you should have done it the other way around. So I should have pulled it down a little bit so that it spawns low, and then pulled it back up so that it's closer to Link. That's probably the slightly better way. But basically, you want to do something like that. Pull it one way first, spawns the enemy, go the other way. The enemy's completely away from you and won't bother you. Now we'll get, and then if any enemies are going to come towards us, we're going to place boulders down to block them. That's not going to happen. So we're going to rush to this next guy, try and get a double. We didn't quite get it. With practice, you can reliably get doubles. No, dude. They jump. Okay, so one of the biggest problems with this wave is the Moblin guys jump attack over the boulders. Can you leave me alone? Okay, got it. No, I got grabbed. Okay. Ah, that sucks. Oh, it pulled me right through the middle, so it was just GG at that point. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That can just happen. Lizalfos phase is hard. Yeah, I feel like the biggest problem isn't really the Lizalfos, because the Lizalfos just hit the boulders. It's the Moblins. They jump over you. They jump over the boulders and hit you, so you can't just hide in a hole like that. Right. Well, I'll show you just, like, fast earlier strats. But yeah, if you load your... If you retry, you respawn back here, and you can just start again from the beginning of the fight. This is very beginning. So we're going to have Talos again at the beginning. Honestly, you're going to die a lot as you're learning this, so you're going to get used to these earlier phases. Let me pull up here. Try and get the double. Come on, Link. Link, 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 please. Okay, I was getting unlucky with, like, the position. Like, it wasn't phasing right. But yeah, we get the tornado spam in the corner. I missed the shot. Bad timing. We get... Look, the urchins that we place down are just doing a lot of damage to Null all this time. Damn, I got hit. Okay. It's fine. We're just gonna peel off the hearts here. Link, please. Okay, Link was right where I was trying to move and just blocks. Sometimes you can just get blocked by Link. You gotta pay attention to where Link is. Right, okay. Link, please. Thank you. Okay. Dodge these guys. Link! What are you doing, dude? Oh, okay. Just make sure that doesn't happen. Okay. Please, please, Link, stop throwing. He was just stood on my boulder, not attacking. Yeah, okay, so, yeah. Link just... You get subjected to Link RNG like that, where his AI just bugs out and doesn't do what he's supposed to do. But get used to dodging the things and doing strats like that, and it should be pretty consistent. Not quite a double possibility here. I'll try. Okay, it's fine. So we're gonna dodge down the bottom side here. Dodge, and then, yeah, so we just stay down here, the top ones can't hit us at all. Very free. Ooh, bad positioning from that attack. Yeah, you have to watch out sometimes when you're pulling that the core attack won't just hit. Okay, cool. I again, got a double, skip to the ice phase, but yeah, you just put boulders down and use the boulders to avoid getting hit. Just make a little hole, like a hidey hole for you, and then you just never get hit. It's wrong thing. Wrong button. Okay. Link. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna stand over on this side, and then place urchins. The spam urchins do damage here. Cool. Okay, and now it's this phase. Okay. Oh yeah, see that? Yeah. So react to the Lizalfos. Make sure you're not locked on, and then you have free movement, and you can like freely place a boulder between you and the Lizalfos to block them. But yeah, I timed that boulder super late. I was cutting that close. You can place a boulder a lot earlier than that, and the Lizalfos would just hit the boulder and then get stunned, and then you have free time to pull it max distance. But yeah, when you've pulled the thing max distance, just place boulders around you, and then you're safe. Okay, we didn't get time to go over to that corner, so that's fine. Thank you. Everyone leave me alone. No! Dude! Okay. Oh, that sucks. Okay, right. Duked. Right, we got a... Alright, can we get another heart here? Okay, so this is third phase. So, yeah, you can see how tight it can be sometimes to, like, dodge the Lizalfos, but, like, with practice, you'll be able to get better at dodging them like that. Right, third phase. This is non-scripted. The bosses that we can get are completely random. There's 4 different bosses. We can get 6 Ganons. We can get a Goma with some tornadoes that come with it, which is it's just really slow and rubbish, and it sucks. Goma's probably the worst one to get. It's not that bad with the new strat that we have. Another one is 4 Ganons with a Talus, and then the last one is 3 Ice Guys. Like the 3 spinny Ice Guys that bounce around the room. 3 spinny Ice Guys is free. Like the Ganon with the 4 in the corner is also free, and then the 6th Ganon is also free. It's the Goma one that really sucks because it makes the fight harder, but it's actually kind of avoidable. I don't know if I should even try pulling. Like, basically, you're doing the same strat that we've always done in all of these. We're pulling the back arms. You want to be doing that. I am not going to demo that. I am going to let Link do all the damage to the boss on his own, just to demo all of the different boss waves. That's all I'm going to be doing. Oh, I did pull one. Okay, so here we go. So this pattern, this 5, this is the Talus with the four Ganons. So you want to head either to the top or the bottom, the bottom left or the top right, depending on where in the room you are. So you want to stand in this position here, and then you won't get hit. And then after, like during the Talus phase, you want to come and stand in this corner here. Make sure that you're stood against the bottom wall on the far left-hand side of the bottom wall, the far right-hand side of the bottom wall. Don't go up the diagonal at all, otherwise you get hit by the other one, like the higher Ganon ones. Like, these positions are perfectly safe if you just sit exactly on the corner. Super consistent. There you go. Okay, so this is the Goma phase, because, yeah, it spawns on the walls. You get used to this. So we want to put boulders around, especially the middle. Okay, we didn't get them down in the right spots, but yeah. Yeah, try and run around to the top of the arena. You can go overhead view on these tornadoes to make sure that you can dodge them. But yeah, like, it can be a bit tricky to dodge these tornadoes sometimes, but you just want to get to the top of the room. And then the tornado... I was like placing all of the boulders around at the bottom, but yeah. It seems extremely tight to place the boulders in the right spot, but if the Goma webs ever hit anything, like you, Link, or objects that you place around, the spider web doesn't spawn on the ground, which makes it easier. These spider webs suck. You get really slow movement whilst you're on them. I really recommend you jumping. Like, if you ever bind onto anything, if you're trying to do arm pulls during this, you're gonna have to jump pull with the bind. Like, I'll demonstrate it here. Like, if you're hit, like, if you see, just jump like so. Like, Link's gonna really struggle with actually getting... Like, if Link is over webs, he doesn't like to move. So you have to make sure that you pull it directly over Link and try and avoid the Goma webs at all. The Goma webs make this way harder than it needs to be. And the, it can be really tricky to get doubles, almost impossible. And it can just be hard in the first place to just get the hits in. Sometimes you just have to have extra boss phases, just because you got Goma. And again, it's completely RNG. We can't determine this. You just gotta roll with it. Right, next boss phase. Okay, this is the 6th Ganon. So 6th Ganon, we're gonna go top right corner. We're gonna dodge this guy here. That guy. We're gonna dodge this one and this top one. Okay, so those were the only ones that we had to pay attention to. It's literally just a 2 in the top right corner. Once we dodge those, as long as we stay at the top, we're never going to get hit. Or you stay on the far right-hand side, and then, like, so the first one never hits you. And then all you need to be paying attention to is those top right, 2 Ganons. And you just keep moving along, and they're very easy to dodge. Don't go too far to the left, otherwise the one on the left, like, if you go too far to the left too early, the one on the left will just and hit you. But yeah, you just stay up here and it's easily dodgeable. Okay, so these are the triple spinny dudes, so we just put things here again. Well, we didn't get to show this before, but in the previous phase, you have the same boss, but there's only 2 of them, and it's honestly exactly the same. Like, they're just free. You just place down the boulders, and they're easily skippable, like avoidable. Don't get hit. Yeah. Link's getting stuck in the webs, but he can just like eventually get out. Yeah, the Goma webs don't last forever. They'll eventually break. Okay, so we get the thing here again, so we're going to stand here. I want to go top corner, but I wasn't in the right position. But it's exactly the same. The only difference, if you're on the top side, is you want to start in the top right corner. Like, you want to be against the top wall as far over to the right that you get to the, like, the first bit of the diagonal. Like, directly above where I am right now. I'll demo it. So you want to be, like, over... You want to be here after the first hit. Then when Talus spins, you go over to this corner and stand here. Those are the two spots that you want to be. They're basically exactly the same as on the bottom side. And that makes it free as well. Oh, I forgot to go up here. Okay, so you go up here and you bait these tornadoes like that. Let's see if we get more bosses. Oh yeah, so Ganon 6 again. Here, over there, dodge that, like so. Just that timing. Moving slowly from the, like, across the top of the room. That's all you need to do. Honestly, I really recommend doing the fight like this for practice, where you just don't do damage to the boss, and you just practice dodging the things. If you get super confident with doing this, then you'll never lose runs in this fight. Like, because the hardest part will be Lizalfos and the Darknuts. But if you can get past Lizalfos, it's kind of done from that point. I didn't go to the top corner again. Here, stand here. Perfect. More Gomas. Can we try and block the... there we go, I got it. Yeah, so you can place the boulders down right on the, like, as it's about to land, if you get the timing right. Kind of tricky to get that, but yeah, I think that's super worth doing if you get the Goma phase. It's the slowest, but it's not that bad. Alright, we're gonna get Ganons again, so just come over here, stand here. Dodge those, dodge that. Perfect. Okay, here's the ninth example up here. Dodge that into this spot up here. And done. See, it's not as hard as it looks. But we'll end the fight now because I think I've shown it enough now. I didn't quite get into the right spot there. And come to the top of the arena. Bait the tornadoes. The tornadoes have tiny hitboxes, honestly, they barely hit you. But yeah, that's pretty much the run now. It's just like, come on, like, just kill it. And that's the end. Oh, no, we didn't get. Okay, right, so run to the top here. You, like, even with the webs there, like, you see, you have so much time to get into this top corner. You just make sure you don't move down early. Okay, Link, come on. One hit should kill it. It's taking so much damage at this point. Really? I swear it's taking enough damage now. I guess we need to do with more damage. Wow. But at this point, run is over. Like, all we need to do is grab and pull. And just pull max distance. And then this cutscene occurs. We mash A. And then time will be coming up on the pull of the tripod of the thing. So time will be now. Yeah. And well done, you just finished an 90% run. I don't know how long this video is. This is going to be very long, isn't it? Oh, it's 2.5 hours. Okay. Well, that's probably a decent explanation of all of the strats that currently make up the 90% route. Hopefully it won't be outdated within a few days. At least a couple of weeks. Hopefully. But there may be some new strats that come up periodically throughout the upcoming weeks that might save time here and there. But any percent doesn't look like it's going to change that drastically anytime soon. These are the strats to do to get your any percent run done. So yeah, there you go. that's the one text box you have to do there, and then after this, the cutscene, the credits play. You can let the credits play or whatever. I don't know. The leaderboards aren't open as of right now, so like there's no formal rules. But make sure you, if it's after, what day is this? It's now technically Thursday. Today is the day that the leaderboards open. So if you go into SRC, you will see the leaderboards are there. And check the rules, make sure you're following everything. But I should have covered all of the things. Like, if you're following the things that I showed in the start of the video, your run should be legal for the leaderboards. But yeah, watch the cutscene, like the credits cutscene if you want, and yeah, enjoy it. There's some cool, weird, buggy things that happen at the end, so yeah, give those a watch, and I'm going to leave that there. I've been talking long enough, so yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and it's... Am I going to be rotated 180 degrees? Yeah, I am. Hello, you get upside down myth. Weird beard man back on screen. Everyone run away. Okay, hello. Alright, I'm gonna sign off. Alright, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoy any percent runs. Yeah, like, Onyx is gonna be the run killer. Because of the RNG nature of it, you're just gonna reset, like, because you're gonna crash, or you're gonna not get the warp, whatever. What can you do? Runs RNG at the moment. But this is any percent. If you get tired of it after a couple runs, go play the other categories. There's all dungeons, which does wrong warps to beat the dungeons fast, or there's no wrong warp, which does cool strats to traverse the overworld and beat the dungeons quickly. So give those categories a watch or like a try yourself. All dungeons looking like it's going to be just over 2 hours. I don't know exactly what the best time is right now, but likely records are going to be below 2 hours. And no wrong warp. It's between 4 and 5 hours at the moment, like, but it's likely going to be again like pushing to the low 4 hours, maybe sub 4. I don't know. I haven't looked too closely into those, but that's rough timings on like what those categories look like. Hondo's not super routed at the moment. Runs have been done. Really slow times. Like, it's going to be improved over a while. I can't really say anything about that at the moment. And those are categories at the moment. So yeah. Also check out the Echoes Discord and see all of the changes that are happening there. And StratDB. StratDB is where everyone's posting all of the updated strats. So if you got any if you want to make sure that you're doing the updated strats on any section, just go to StratDB and search by location. Search Null, search Southern, anything like that, and you can just filter to see what's the optimal strats, and you see YouTube videos and descriptions explaining what to do. Yeah, so hope you enjoy speedrunning this game. I'm gonna head off now. See ya. Bye.